It's the end of the month, and that means it's time for the rundown. Welcome to the rundown for July 2020. Now before I get into it, please like and share this video to give it a boost. In this month's rundown, we have the Irish government's very bad start, Trump's refusal of the request for aid to repair riot damages by Minneapolis Governor, and PragerU's Back the Blue campaign. So let's get into it. So first up, the recently formed Irish government has had a very bad start. Some of the controversies that have hit them include poor communication on travel restrictions, leading to confusion for passengers, Eamon Ryan falling asleep in doll sitting, and the pay rise for junior ministers and then subsequent pay cut after they were called out on it. Now I'm going to go into the travel restrictions communication problem in a little bit more detail. Essentially, the Irish government's advice is no unnecessary travel. However, flights have been opened up again, and the government has released a green list of countries it is safe to travel to. Now, the problem is, which is it? Is it no unnecessary travel, or is it okay to travel to these countries? Further complicating matters is the COVID payment. If someone goes on a holiday and they come back, it turns out that their COVID payment actually gets stopped. And a lot of people are going, you're punishing people for travelling, even though you've released this green list. What's going on? And the answers to this point haven't been great. Next up is Minneapolis requests aid for riot damages. Trump refuses the request. Trump rejected a request for aid for Minneapolis Governor Tim Walz to pay for damages caused by the recent Black Lives Matter riots. From the Daily Wire, Democrat Governor Walz responds after Trump rejects $500 million bailout ask. Conservatives rejoice. Democratic Governor Tim Walz responded to President Donald Trump's decision to reject his $500 million bailout request for the damage caused by the weeks-long violent rioting in Minneapolis in the wake of the death of George Floyd. Governor Walz was widely criticised for his slow reaction to the violence, particularly by President Trump. Walz, a Democrat, requested that Trump declare Minnesota a major disaster zone in a request to the Federal Emergency Management Agency on July 2nd, after more than 1,500 buildings were damaged by looting and rioting in the wake of Floyd's death, totaling over $500 million in damages, the Washington Examiner reported. The Democrat says he is disappointed in Trump's rejection of the financial aid. The governor is disappointed that the federal government declined his request for financial support, said a statement from Walz's office. As we navigate one of the most difficult periods in our state's history, we look for support from our federal government to help us through. Republican Representative Tom Emmer elected by Minnesota's 6th Congressional District, lobbied the president to reject the aid, the Examiner noted. If the federal government is expected to assist in the clean-up of these unfortunate weeks, it has an obligation to every American, prior to the release of funding, to fully understand the events which allowed for this level of destruction to occur and ensure it never happens again, Representative Emmer said in a letter to the administration. Though Walz was displeased, Conservatives rejoiced at the news. Among the responses to the news, Jenna Ellis, a senior legal advisor for Team Trump, tweeted, "Wise, you want to defund police and let the woke mob run wild. Do it on your own dime, Governor. You should have asked the President for help before you incurred this much damage." Now, I think Trump was actually right to refuse the aid. Governor Tim Walz just didn't respond to the violence in his city in any reasonable period of time. Now he wants money from the federal government to pay for the damages, most of which I would say occurred due to his inaction. Of course Trump would refuse that. Of course he would. You made your bed, you lie in it, mate. Now last up, I'm going to talk about something really quickly. I want to make a specific video on this separately to give a bit more detail on it. But the last point is on PragerU's Back the Blue campaign. Prager University has been doing a campaign to show their support for the men and women in the police force. Now, this is actually a response to the calls to defund the police by Black Lives Matter. Police do more than just tackle crime. Much, much more. They support victims of domestic violence. They support victims of sexual assault. And they assist the community in many other ways as well. There's a reason why the phrase of the police in the States is to protect and serve. But people really only pay attention to the protect side of it, but don't actually pay attention to the serve side. They serve the people, and they protect the people by enforcing the law. That's why they're called law enforcement. So what do you guys think? Share your thoughts of these stories with me in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to keep up with my latest videos. This has been the rundown for July 2020. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.